Welcome to Designer Digital's Bi-Weekly Tip, February 23rd, 2018. This week, how to make color-matched plaid paper from striped paper in Photoshop and Elements. In this tip series, we've been exploring ways to expand your digital paper packs by using them to create new patterns. A basic pattern pack gives you limitless design options when you just have a few creative techniques in your back pocket. For example, you can double your paper choices by making plaid paper from striped paper in Photoshop and Elements. Here's how to create the plaid design and then check to ensure that it matches the kit colors. To begin, open a piece of striped digital paper. For the sample, I'm using a striped paper from the Remember December kit by Katie Petite, and then I'll show you again using one from the In the Moonlight kit by Katie Petite as well. Begin by opening your striped paper and then pressing Ctrl-J on the keyboard, or on a Mac system, you'll press Command-J. This duplicates the paper, and you'll see two copies of the paper stacked in the Layers panel at the bottom right corner of the screen. Select the top layer and press Ctrl-T, or on a Mac system, Command-T on the keyboard to get the transform controls. If you can't see the entire paper, including the corners, press Ctrl-0 or on a Mac system Command-0 to reduce the paper to fit the screen. Get the Move tool and move your cursor to the corner of the document. When you do this, the cursor changes to a curved double arrow. Hold the Shift key and click and drag the corner handle to rotate the paper until the stripes are turned in the opposite direction. Holding the Shift key will turn incrementally so that the paper will line up more easily. Tick the check mark to confirm the turn. That's either going to be in the Options bar in Photoshop or below the document in Elements. Click to select the layer that you just turned, and then locate the blending modes above the Layers panel. It's set to normal by default. Click the down arrow and choose Darken. Like magic, the striped paper now becomes a plaid. Try a different blending mode to get a different effect, and don't be afraid to try a few to see what they do. Now, the real trick here is to make sure that the plaid paper you just created will match the kit that you're using. To do this, select the background layer, which was the original paper that didn't have a blending mode applied. Press Ctrl-J or on a Mac system Command-J to duplicate that layer. So now you'll see in the Layers panel you've got the background, a background copy, and then our layer that has a blending mode on top of that. Drag that copy to the top of the Layers panel, and now use the Move tool to drag that striped layer over to the side. You want to be able to see the striped paper and the plaid paper at the same time. At this point, you'll likely see that the plaid paper is darker than your original paper. To fix this, select the middle layer. That's the layer that has the blending mode. Reduce the opacity of that layer over in the Layers panel by dragging the opacity slider at the top right corner. So I'm just going to reduce the opacity until I feel like the color matches the color on our original page. For my sample, somewhere between 50 and 60% opacity works. Now you can delete the top striped layer, which was that copy layer that we were using just for color matching. You can delete it by selecting it and pressing delete or dragging it to the trash can over in the Layers panel. Finally, choose File, Save As, and save your new document with a new name and save it as a JPEG so that you can use it again in your kit or your paper pack. Now I wanted to show you again using this In the Moonlight paper. This is kind of a fun stripe that has little diagonal stripes in it. It's a more interesting pattern. And I wanted to show you what happens when you duplicate it, turn it, and then choose Darken, and reduce the opacity to about 60%. Isn't that a neat plaid? I really like the way it looks, and it really gives you another design option when you're using this kit. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to check back in 2 weeks for the next Designer Digitals tip.